Yeah, we are recording. So, as quickly as possible. It's almost New Year's Eve. It's 30th today. I can never, for the love of everything, remember if December is just 30 or 31 days. I've struggled with that all my life, actually, among other stuff that I struggle with. So I always struggle how many days each month have, whether it's 30 or 31. I know that February actually is 28, but every 4 years something happened. Anyway, so whether it's New Year's Eve today or tomorrow or whenever you're watching that, or even if you're watching that any day else, you're gonna make some resolutions. And with the end of everything, we feel like, all right, we're gonna make some changes. Yeah? 2 years ago, I was almost, because, well, everyone knows what happened 2 years ago worldwide, but I actually had 15 kilograms more. That was almost 30 pounds, I think, if you're American. So I was like that, and I didn't have any muscle definition whatsoever. I used to be athletic most parts of my life, and other parts I used to be overweight. But so 2 years ago, actually, I made it one of my New Year's resolutions that I'm gonna go to the gym, and I didn't go until mid of February. But I went, and I kept at it for 2 years now. So yeah, I have some muscles and I'm doing well. But I had so many other resolutions that I didn't follow through. So I wrote a book. I didn't complete it. I wrote another book. I didn't complete that as well. I succeeded in many parts of my business, thanks God. Many other parts and many other projects that I intended that I'm gonna start. I started and then didn't continue, didn't complete. This thing itself, actually, so yeah, this what I'm doing right here. So this is my, this is my PC, and this is here. Yeah, that's my PS. That whole streaming and gaming streaming and streaming my gameplays and walkthroughs and all of that actually something that I decided 3 weeks ago and started. And hopefully we'll continue, because yeah, I'm recording that. And if you're watching that on YouTube, then yay! I actually uploaded a video, because I record a lot of videos, but I don't upload all of them. So if you're watching that on YouTube as well, you may wanna know that I actually have a following, but it's Arabs and Middle Easterns and Egyptians. I'm an Egyptian, so English isn't my first language. I'm sure some of you already, if you're watching that again, or you're a return viewer, I'm sure you already can recognize that English isn't my first language. Arabic is, and the reason that I'm doing all of that in English is because, well, sometimes you need to have a voice. Sometimes if you want to say something, you need to communicate it. And it's not always good to talk about the same things to the same people and discuss the same ideas, especially at times like as what's happening in the Middle East right now. But that's not what I'm talking about here right now, actually. What I'm talking about is just some ranting about ADHD and New Year's resolutions and all of that. So if you are struggling with the suspicions that you might have ADHD, let's take it one step at a time. Number one, you need to ask yourself whether you had it before living this life that you're living right now, with social media, with TikTok, with Twitter or X or whatever. You need to ask yourself, did you have that before or not? And that will answer a whole lot of the suspicion or the question, is it, as I explained in a video before, artificial ADHD or genetic ADHD? So as I explained, there are two types of ADHD currently in the world. The artificial type is the manufactured type. So you normally, if you've been, I'm 35, 36 right now. So my whole life, I used to be able to read books, a lot of books. Though I have, and I suffer from ADHD, but the way that it manifested in my life is because I had nothing but books. I was surrounded by books all my life. So I actually had just my pens to play with and my books. So the way that I got distracted was from a book to another book, and from that other book to another book, and from that other book to a fourth book. Some guys don't have that in their lives. They get distracted to whatever attracts their attention. So if you are in a place where you're surrounded by 10 things, you're gonna be distracted by each and every one of those 10 things. If you are in a place where you are surrounded by 100 things, you're gonna be distracted by each of those 100 things. And if you are in a place surrounded by just 2 things, you're gonna be distracted by those 2 things. And I'm sure now you can understand what that means. So before the internet and before the social media and all of that, if you struggled with ADHD like me, it's only the things that are in front of you. So it's the books, the pens, the furniture in the room, and your mind. You daydream a lot because you can't manually, you can't manually focus your attention. You can't, by force, you can't actually have the intention or the intent that I'm gonna focus on something and you focus on it. That doesn't work for us. But in that life that we're in right now, it's not 10, it's not 100, it's not thousands. It's an infinite number of things, infinite number of applications, infinite number of dopamine-inducing content pieces all the time. For us with ADHD, it's normal. That's what we're used to. So yeah, I'm jumping between 10 to 15 applications all the time, watching a video here, while playing a game here, while finishing a project here, while talking to someone here. That's normal for us. I'm used to that. For anyone who doesn't have ADHD from his genetics, that's not the normal. But you train yourself. Gradually, you have been trained. So I'm from the generation where Yahoo Messenger and MSN Messenger, and MySpace, that was a gradual step for me to where I am right now. But if you are, just in your 20s, I don't think you've seen Yahoo Messenger or MSN Messenger unless you've seen the internet 15 years ago and you were 5 years old by then. If you are in your 20s and you're a normal person, you don't have actually ADHD in your genetics, you already think that this is life. No, life isn't this way. Life isn't, everything in life shouldn't give you dopamine. It shouldn't give you excitement. Life should be a struggle. And I'm telling you that because that is a part of the CBT or the cognitive behavioral therapy that I went through to be able to manage my ADHD. If you don't have it in your genetics, you actually don't suffer from something that can only be managed. In your case, it can be fixed, but you need to learn how to fast, go into a dopamine fasting try it for a couple of days, then extended, maybe 3 days, maybe a week. And both of you, if you have it like me in your genetics and it's been with you all your life, and if it's artificial, you don't have to think of it as suffering, all right? It's not a curse. Well, that's life. Now, that's where we are. If you have it in your genetics, it's a superpower. I already explained that and I'm gonna say it again. Because all your life you've been suffering from that, then you are used to the fact that your brain is processing everything at 10x. You don't process things at the same speed as everyone else. No. You process things at 10x. And the reason is that you don't have RAMs in your brain. You don't have short-term memory, sorry. So because you know that you don't have short-term memory, you already, even if you didn't know that what it was called, but all your life you're used that you're forgetting everything. So what you do is you process it ultra fast and move it into long-term memory. And as a result, you're thinking faster and you're not processing the information around you the same way others do. So as a result, you're already creative. You just don't know how to, get that creativity if you don't. If you do, then, well, yay! But if you don't know how to get that creativity out, output it into something meaningful, something that you can use or monetize or turn into a business or turn into an art or anything, you have to find that. You have. Or you're gonna spend a whole lot of your life suffering because you have a lot of creativity and maybe you're in a life that's not that creative, or you're not doing anything creative, so you're always feeling that you're trapped. You need to try. You're not gonna, no one is gonna come and give it to you. You need to try that. And once you do, actually, things start going into motion. Gradually. You will learn how to suffer, but you already know that. If you have ADHD, you know that you've tested suffering and failure a lot. If you've been in a life where ADHD is not the norm. So if you've been in a life where, as for my case, your grades are dependent on your memorization, that's, for me at least, it was nightmares. If you're playing chess and you love chess, you will find that as a chess player with ADHD, you can never break a certain ceiling, never. Because chess is only a memory game. At the pro level, at the professional level, chess is just memory. It's not creativity. Unless you're playing Fisher Random. Fisher Random is amazing. But if you are in an environment that rewards creativity, rewards energy, rewards that, as I am right now, I can't sit still. And I used to teach for years actually. And my students struggled with me that when I'm teaching, I have to keep moving and pacing like that and fidgeting. And I'm surrounded by toys and toys all around. So you're gonna work through it. Hopefully, I'll try and produce more content about that topic, but especially in English. If you're an English language, if you can understand English easy, which based on the analytics that I'm seeing on my YouTube, most of whoever is watching that, English is either their first or their second language, and it's easy for them. So you have a whole lot of resources available for you. As I've already shared, I've known about ADHD in particular from Jessica Maccabi, which is her YouTube channel, How to Do ADHD. She's amazing, I love her. You have so many other resources. Start learning. The more you learn, the more you will be able to manage that particular strength of yours. In Arabic, when I teach or when I speak about that topic in Arabic, I never call it a defect or never call it a disability. It's not for, even if you wanna get something from the government as a disability or something, between you and yourself, in your mind, don't call it a disability. It's not a disability, it's a strength, it's an ability. I think of it that way. It helped me that way. I owe a whole lot of my career and my success actually to that. I'm always learning. I get bored so fast that I'm always trying something new. As a result, I've learned about so many things in life much faster and much earlier, and that helped me. So if you are suffering from it on an artificial level, you're a normal person, but you've been living with social media and TikTok and all of that, and now your brain is saturated with all of that. Well, first of all, congrats. You don't have to worry about what we worry about. In your case, it's fixable. But as I said, it's gonna take time. As I said a while ago, I was overweight, actually. I have pictures when I was, like that, and so I couldn't even do one pull-up. And right now I can easily do 10 pull-ups consecutive, and as I'm sure it's shown here, I think it's here. Yeah, that's my multi-gym, and I have it here in my, that's my home office. It took time. It took 2 years. 2 years. I didn't miss a single week. Each week I went to the gym 2 or 3 times. Some weeks I went 7 days per week. Whenever I'm outside of Egypt, I travel a lot. I always find a place to stay where I have a gym. So it's either in my building, it's either in my hotel, it's either something that I subscribe to. So if I'm staying in a place for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I find gym and I go. And it's never been easy. I'm not a lazy person, but at the same time, I always have so many other things to do, right? So for me, it's not that I want to sit and relax and chill. No. I have so many other things. I want to play more games. I want to watch more movies. I want to watch more series. I want to do more work because I run 2 companies at the same time. And among other things, I want to spend time with my family. I'm not a single guy, no, I'm married. So, I have a family that I have to spend time, I want to spend time with. But I find the time and it takes effort. And the reason that I'm given that particular example, it's because it's easy. We all have bodies. We all have physical goals. If I talked about a certain project, for example, as what you should try and practice commitment with, it's not gonna be relevant to everyone. But we all have bodies and we all have, physiques, and we all wanna work to better those physiques. So your mind is the same as your body. It's gonna take time and effort. It's not gonna happen in a day or in a week, maybe even in a year. But if you don't have ADHD in your genetics, in your genes, actually, if your brain is a normal, if you have a neurotypical brain, not a neurodivergent one, and you keep treating yourself as if you have ADHD, it's always gonna be for the worst. So meds, I'm not gonna talk about meds because I'm not a health specialist and I usually don't ever touch that subject. And as I think I said before, I only right now use saffron. I use saffron, which is a normal herb, and it's amazing and I love its taste, and that's it. I don't take any meds. But it's the same. If you treat yourself emotionally and mentally that you have ADHD, it's as if you're taking meds, chemical meds for ADHD. The same meds that will work for me if I took a certain medication, I'm not gonna name names, and it worked for me, and it made me better, actually have more clarity and work best. It's not gonna work for you. For you, it's gonna be the reverse. It's gonna make you an addict. So please, just understand that if you are feeling certain traits right now, thinking certain thoughts about ADHD in particular, just go back and ask yourself, will you be feeling the same feelings if you're not surrounded by all of that dopamine inducing content all the time? So that's it. That's hopefully if you're watching that video, that means I had the courage to record it. Please excuse my triple language. Again, English isn't my first language. I'm gonna try and post more of those videos. I'm an introvert. I don't like to, be in the spotlight. And only reason I did that 6 years ago in Arabic was because I had to teach some stuff because I needed to get employees. It's a whole it's a big story that I might tell later. But the reason that I'm saying that, it's an apology. If you're struggling with my language, if you're struggling with my, amazing video production quality, my apologies. I'll try and do better. And let me know with a subscribe, let me know with a like, and see you in another video if I upload that one. Thank you.